Hello. Not hell, not oh, but hello. Yes. And thank you so much for being in line, in rhythm with the magic, the riches of your life. You would not be here at the Dancing with Riches intro if you were not in line with the rhythm of your life. It is definitely about being in line with the energy of change, right? So, what is the energy of change in this period of our lives that we're willing to be in rhythm? Yes. There are no coincidences. There's nothing that shows up in our lives that is strange. It might be different. However, if we're actually willing to be in line and in rhythm with what shows up and see it from different perspectives, then we will be in rhythm with the riches of our lives. So, are you ready to be in rhythm with the uniqueness, with the magic, with the difference that you are? In Access Consciousness, which you can find more about that on accessconsciousness.com, they talk about there's so much more that unites us, right, than separates us. And so what is it? Maybe that's something I say, but I've said in Access. What is it that is uniting us with the change in this period? And when things feel uncomfortable, you know, see if it is something that's knocking on your door. This Dancing with Riches, it started in about 12, 13 years ago as a workshop, a business workshop, in a training workshop. It started like that, and it's a very, really, let's say, a bit structured class and workshop. And we do it with relationships, with business, with money. And my girlfriend Sahide is on here, and we have done it together in different times. And it's a book, and the book came out maybe mm, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, right? And the book is called Dancing with Riches, being in a line in rhythm with the energy of change using the Access tools, because it's an Access book, and it is in maybe about 7, 8 languages now, and it's coming out in other languages. And how can you use those tools of Access and be in rhythm with them with whatever you're doing? If you're doing yoga, if you're doing, Heiki, in any kind of work, how can you utilize that and be in rhythm with your life, right? And it's a song. It's a song. It's a video. And what else is it? Lots of people are actually really great at inviting others to recognize what is unique about them. We see it. We see people. And a lot of times people are trying to be like others, right? And we are so much like others. I mean, anybody have fingers? Anybody have a nose? Anybody have a chin, shoulders? Some people are missing some fingers, some people are missing some things, but we're very much similar because we're physically present here on planet Earth, right? And no matter what you are speaking, si fale português, or si sprichst du Deutsch, or si if you, no matter what you are speaking, the language you are speaking, the rhythm can be amazing for people. I remember a girlfriend of mine, we were in a class with Simone Millicis. She's a great uh, business training gal as well. And I was hosting her, and I had people speaking different languages, translating, and a girlfriend of mine was speaking in Polish. And when I went to dinner with them, they were speaking in Polish, and there was this one word that came up. That was so amazing to me. My vibration started really activating. And they said, "Oh, what was that?" And I said, "This word." And they said, "Oh, we'll tell you what it means." I said, "Please don't. Please don't tell me what it means." Because what have we defined as the riches of our life or the lack of riches of our life? That if we are actually willing to be in rhythm with who we are, ourselves, that's chapter one, with our body, with our body. Did I say body? Body, body, body. Hello, body, body. Okay, body. Yeah, that's chapter two, about how to be in line with you, with your body, and your relationships. Chapter three, how relationships work for you, how they don't work for you. And I use lots of my life experiences and invite people to see that there are no coincidences. And how does that give you some clarity about what works for you? What is your magic that you can engage with that will change and expand your life? Chapter four is about money. Money, money, money. It's so funny in a rich man's world. Money. And chapter five is about business. That people had asked me about the business because I have worked in so many businesses around the world for many years. I was the chef concierge at the Ritz-Carlton in New York for over 10 years. They had made me, Wear magazine, which is a magazine that's been international, like the head concierge in the world. I had been working in theater and not directing theater, but actually working with getting money for those theaters, for the theater things in New York City. I had worked in with Boston Magazine, Boston newspaper, Boston newsletter, working in journalism. That was one of my undergraduate degree in journalism. My graduate degree, master's degree, was about doing business work for theater, for films, for movies. And coming to and working in music and working in so many different things. And I've been working with access consciousness for about 20 years. And I have also a bed and breakfast, and I have also so many other things that I don't have to tell you everything. However, what is it that you and your life have been engaged with that if you recognize what's unique and different about you without feeling wrong, then you can play with what you would like to create, generate, and activate. Now, now, so what we're playing with a lot in these workshops is having you really maybe just articulate some of the things that you've done in the past and what from that past is knocking on your door now so that you could reactivate it in a different way. Past, present, what are we doing now? Right? Muge's working on so many different things too. Now, right? What are we, Disha's working on so many different things. All of us are working on so many different things. Gary Douglas, the founder of Access Consciousness, says you have to at least have 10 things that you work on so that you don't get so focused that you don't really see your riches, right? And how many of the things in the present can invite you to see what is knocking on your door for the future? So the past, what you've done in the past, the present, what you're doing it now, and the future. What is it that perhaps you have not been doing up until now? That's my Delhi phrase from India. Up until now, you have not been doing that is knocking on your door, right? Is it with kids? Is it with animals? Is it with training? Is it with singing? Is it with dancing? Is it with being an invitation to nonprofit organizations? Is it making lots of money, so much money that you cannot spend it all? That maybe you could gift it to children who are not in the houses, that you can gift it to the earth where there's lots of fires or lots of water. You can really be the magic of you when you are noticing that I am so present here on planet Earth. And there's a lot of people present here on planet Earth. And we're so similar. But what is the uniqueness of me that I can contribute in a very different way to me, my body, my relationships, my money, my business, and the world? Yeah. So playing with business, right? Playing with recognizing the various things that maybe you'd like to do. And then the second little part of that workshop is recognizing what is vital to you. Now, it's a business workshop. So initially people, when they talk about what's vital to you, they're talking about the business and and the work and the money. But we start playing with what is vital for us that brings us joy, For me, swimming in the ocean. The sea, yes, that's nice. The sea is fine. The and a pool is fine. But the ocean, because I was born and raised in Boston, Massachusetts, in the United States, and it is surrounded by the Atlantic Ocean. And my husband, my current husband here, 26 years married, it's Italian. And we're living in Italy, and it's not the ocean here in Italy. So when he goes to the United States with me to Boston, sometimes it's a little too cold for him to go into the ocean. What is a little too cold for you up until now? A little not clear up until now, that if you're willing to get out of the box, if you're willing to be in rhythm with your vibration, if you're ready to activate the riches of your life. And riches isn't just about money. Money, money, money. It's so funny in a rich man's world. Yeah, it's not just about money, the riches. It is what gives you, gifts to you, your perspective, your awareness, and your activation. So, truth is it the time to activate your riches and be a gift, not only to you, not only to your body, not only to relationships, not only to money, but to be money and to be the business, delicious and delightful, that the world can and will receive and give us a more joyful way of being here. Yeah. So these training workshops, you can even play with it a little bit with the business workshops and open it up and do some training for people, right? You know that everyone, everyone, yes, if they have a body, body, yeah, they're physically present here on planet Earth. Yeah. However, are we present in our lives so that we know who we are and see who and what shows up for you, not only today, but in the next couple of days? That is something that would really invite more. So in these workshops, we do that, naming the various, maybe 3, 4, 5 different things that you'd like to do, something you've done in the past that you'd like to do, something you're doing in the present that you'd like to do a little different, something that you would like to do in the future, right? And after we start talking about and just writing lots of things about what is vital for us, what does that mean? What is vital for us? What is it that if it were not in your life, that if it were not present in your life, you wouldn't want to be here? You really wouldn't want to be here. And that's not just sadness for you. If you would not want to be here, it would be sadness or uncomfortability for us because maybe we're here on planet Earth thanks to your vibration. So, would you like, please, to recognize your vibe? It doesn't have to be all those different works I spoke about. It doesn't have to be a multi-millionaire billionaire. It doesn't have to be something that others are. As my buddy Dr. Dane here, who is co-creator of Access Consciousness, you can find that on accessconsciousness.com. He's got a book from years ago in many languages. And I do readings of that book, and it's really cool. Being you changed the world. Absolutely. Being you, you can change the world. How can we be us and change the world? What is that? Be you, change the world. You can have the book, read it, also be on the thing. But what Dr. Dane, he was going to leave the planet before he wrote that book. Now he's really active all over. But he was going to leave the planet because he was not recognizing, not connected with, not acknowledging his magic, the riches of his life. So, whatever it takes for you to be in line with the riches of your life. And what does that mean? The uniqueness of you, the way you approach life, or the way that you would like to approach life. Because I got to tell you, please recognize what made us choose to be present here on this planet called Earth at this time. And before you choose to leave, just ask yourself, why am I here? What is my magic here? What is it that I can be? What is it that I can receive here? What is it that I can gift to myself, to my body, to my life that will be not only a gift for me, but will be a gift for the planet? And so that we can choose, perhaps once we leave the planet, to come back because we have been a contribution and a great vibration. So don't worry about politics. Don't worry about, you know, politicians that are doing something that is not comfortable. Religion, we are the basis of all religion. And then there's most religions that then try to be form and structure. But what is religion? Religion is our presence here, our vibration here. Well, doesn't have to be, you know, Catholic, Arabic, all kinds of different religions. They're all amazing, not with the form and structure, but with the basis. So, all of the basis that we are no longer, up until now, opening up. And if you ever come to Venice in Italy, the basis on the form, the foundation, the fundament there, it has water moving in it. It's not so form and structured. So are you ready to play, open up the doors, get out of the box, lower your barriers, expand your comfort zone? So my 7 steps to flawless communication. and see who and what is here and that we can and will engage with. So, in terms of the business work with that, one of the things Miguel Simon Melissa says is business is not about just working. Business is our life, right? So if we're cooking or we're dancing or we're, you know, taking care of kids or doggies or kitties or, cleaning our houses or waking up in the morning, going to sleep in the morning, waking up at night, going to sleep at night. Those are the way that we live life in a very unique format. How do you wake up in the morning? How do you wake up in the evening? What's the first thing that you do when you wake up? Please, when you wake up, ask your being, your body, what is the rhythm of my magic? Body, can we dance? Even if it's not moving like this, be in rhythm is the dance. Can we dance with the riches of our life together? Body, universe, God, Allah, Buddha, Shiva, Jesus, birds, bees, flowers, trees, the planet, universe. Show me the rhythm of my riches today. Guide me to being in line, dancing, even if I'm just walking, even if I'm just sitting down, with the riches of my life. Please, when you wake up in the morning, ask your body that and see when your breathing changes or when you move a little bit your shoulders or when you have a smile or even a laughter. They do in yoga laughter, right? You don't have to do yoga. You don't have to do dancing. You don't have to do gymnastics. You don't have to do playing sports. I do all of that, but you don't have to. What is it that are the riches of your life? So we play with that at the Dancing with Riches workshop, just what's vital for you. And then we have people, sometimes people change what they've written that they'd like to do in work and business, right? Adapting it a little bit. And then we go into what is it that you are good at? 80% of the things that you in your business do or are required, it's easy for you, right? A lot of times, that 20% that's not easy for us, we can invite others to work with us on that. Okay? 80% of what we do, just going to repeat this, 80% of what we do in our business, in our work, in our life is natural for us. We don't, up until now, perhaps have not defined it. That 20%, sometimes it's calling people, sometimes it's calculating money, sometimes it's working on getting a location, putting up things, whatever that is, right? Sometimes it's, doing texts or putting together workbooks. We've got great workbooks for the Dancing with Riches, different workbooks. And it's great to keep them because you can continually change what you've written during a class. A lot of times, that 20% of what is not fun for us, easy for us, right? 80% of the things are so good, we don't even recognize hello, doesn't everyone know how to do that? Not in the way you do it. That 20%, a lot of times we spend 80% of our time trying to work on that 20% that is not easy for us. Does that make sense? Recognizing your riches. You can also see the riches of others. Oh, she's really good at that. Oh, he's awesome at that, right? And what 20% of somebody else's work that they're not great at, but that's so easy for you, could you do with them? For you, if it's something that you are really great at, it probably takes you 5 minutes and it would take them 2 days. And what is that 20% that is not that easy or great for you that someone else could be a contribution to? So please know that you can never get you wrong, right? You can never get you wrong because there is no one on the planet that does you better than you. You are the best version of you that exists here on the planet. So, really working with what is it that is I'm really good at in work, right? In general, not necessarily just your work in general, right? Communicating with people. But why? Is that something that's easy? Is that something that people need? Communication with people? That's just so obvious. Yeah. Recognizing your magic, what you do with so much ease. That could be a great invitation for others to see. A, how they could do it. B, how they don't have to do it. And C, how it can and will activate the riches of their life if they recognize what works for them, what doesn't work for them, what's required, and what's desired, right? So, what we play with looking at that, what's the definition of business? What's the definition? What do you define in your business of someone that is working with the economy or that is working with the workbook writing or that is working with the inviting of people to join the business or that is working with, defining it? Because the way you define it is different. That's that 10% difference. The way you define it, how you would like it to be, is a bit different, right? And knowing what's good for you, what's easy for you, what you are natural at, and what other people are natural at, what's good for them, what's easy for them. And then what you don't, I know how to do it, but I don't really, have so much fun doing it. What that 20% is. And what we play a little bit, right, in the second day is you engaging with someone and their business in a role, in a situation, in work that you don't really know how to do, or it's not really something you know and enjoy doing. And the second part is things, your business, things you know how to do, you like to do, and you're great at with other people's business. So that first part is amazing. Why? Because if we are playing with someone in a workshop with their business, with something that we don't really do or like to do, they describe what their business is, what they would like to do or what they're doing, and what we ask them in order to know how to do our business for them, how to be, an assistant in their business or to give them some information. What we ask them and how we ask them, and the role that is not an easy role for us. It's not something we really know how to do, but in order to know how to give them information in that role, the way we ask them about their business, about their work, is so different than anyone else. Okay, I can tell you more about that during the workshop if you want to join. But it is a gift to them because they've never heard it that way before. Like some people are saying, well, I want to do this. This is my business, blah, 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 blah. And someone who is doing finance for them, who's not, they don't really like being a economist or finance person. Sometimes they ask them, have you ever thought about doing a nonprofit thing with your business? You can make lots of money, but a nonprofit thing with your business, have you ever thought about it? Something that people have never considered in economy. And it opens them up in a very different way. Or if they're talking about engaging with people, they might ask them, have you ever engaged with this kind of person? And that is something that they've never thought of. So, what people receive from others in that first phase is looking at things from different perspective and recognizing what their magic is in a different way. And in the second area where people are working in roles that they're good at and they know about, they see their roles and what they're good at from a different perspective, thanks to the people who were asking questions in order to understand, quote unquote, the roles that they were not easy with, but that they needed information in order to do it, be it. So, what are the way people at the end of each of those little working out together do? They do a presentation. And the presentations that we do once we've just talked with people, like a half hour, 40 minutes talking with people, you know, who have a business and who have different people in different roles, and then work with other people in your business. The way the presentation goes is so clear and so much of an invitation that it activates and uploads our rhythm with the riches of our life. So, what is it that you think you want to do today? That you think you're supposed to be doing in this period of life? That you think you have to do? That you could actually not only do that, but be in line with the riches of your life in various aspects. And sometimes when you are playing, having fun, being in rhythm with your riches, whether it is doing workshops, making money, translating, hiring people, doing economy, doing also, interviews for people, and also assisting people, all those things, they can show up in a very different way when you are dancing with the riches of your life. Are you ready to be in line with your rhythm and not only receive it, but gift it to you, to others, and to the world? So please do not only look down today, tomorrow, the next day. See who and what shows up. Just take a little clip, write it down. If you'd like to join and work, just know who and what is showing up because you've been listening, you've been hearing, and you've been opening your amazing magic. Are you ready? Are you ready? Sometimes life can be difficult. Sometimes it weighs you down, but it's no reason to go through every day with a frown. Take a look at the brighter side. Be strong, be ready, be free. Learn from everything and be who you can be. Dance with the riches of your life. I'll show you the song. Check it out. You can check it out on YouTube. Dancing, dancing, I said, dancing, dancing with riches, with riches, with riches. Everything can and will be the pleasure, pleasure. That's how they say it in South Africa. No piacere, pleasure, 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 pleasure for you and your life. And I recognize everyone's riches. And that's why I'm grateful to be here on planet Earth. And I like people to recognize their riches so that we can be in line, in rhythm, and in the life that is waiting for us. Business, money, relationship, body, and you. That is a gift. A gift to you, to the world, to the planet, and beyond. Hope it works. I hope you get it. Any questions? We can and will be ready for you. And we will give you a link. You can join us on WhatsApp or Telegram. And any questions you have, please, 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 please do not hesitate to ask them. Okay? That's it. Different. Different. Thank you. I love your hair. I love that heart.
Çok teşekkürler.
Teş
Kes.
teşekkür ederim.
Amor.
Teşekkür ederim.
Görmek.
Teşekkürler. Teşekkür ederim. Nay ra 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 ra. Merci, grazie.
Thank you very much.